Staff ready? This meeting is called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Ed Norris, please call the roll.
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Here.
Councilmember Speech.
Here.
Councilmember Radner. Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Okay, we've got everyone. Next, we have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Support. Support. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion, the agenda is approved. The next items are a consent agenda. They are a group of things that are not controversial, that are approved without discussion with one vote. Anyone on council can ask to have one of the items removed for special consideration. Does any council member have one to remove? Okay, the items are, yes, please. Is there one? Yes? Council member Speech.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I don't have an item to remove. I actually have an item to add from the floor. Is that something that I would do at this point?
Would that be City Clerk at the approval of the agenda, or?
I'm sorry, the time to add an agenda item would be through the approval of the agenda.
Gotcha.
If you want to add something to the consent agenda, it would still require it to be done at the approval of the agenda.
Okay.
Okay. So the items are regular council meeting minutes of February 1st, retirement board meeting minutes October 26th and November 23rd, election commission meeting minutes October 22nd, zoning board of appeals meeting minutes November 24th, payment application number 2 to Terra Contracting for the 2015 sewer cleaning and television inspection project M626 for the total amount of $31,689.92. F, payment of invoices from Orchard Hills McClement OHM for water reservoir pumping station improvements, traffic signal design, traffic signal optimization, and Oak Park Boulevard and Lincoln rehabilitation in the total amount of $90,000, $90,920.78. Resolution to support the 2016 Tri-Party Program to authorize the submission of funding for repairs to Greenfield Road. Item H, request to advertise for bids for the 2016 Long Maintenance Project, M639, and the 2016 Landscape Maintenance Project, M640. Licenses, new and renewals, as submitted for February 15th, 2016. Motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
So moved.
Do we have support?
Support.
Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes?
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Motion approved. I don't see any visiting elected officials. City manager has an employee recognition for someone we're going to miss.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council, and members of the public. Tonight, I'm going to honor an employee who is, in fact, leaving us after about 16 years. And this employee happens to be sitting right back there in the control room, waving. And he sure is going to be missed. Matt Brandemart has been not just an important part of our administration in terms of providing cable services as he's doing now, but he's also been a great team player, doing anything and everything that's asked of him, including fixing my computer from time to time, as we all know problems persist with those machines. He's a great person as well as employee, and our loss is no doubt his next employer's gain. I won't say who unless you want to share that, Matt, but I wanted to recognize you tonight in front of this honorable body as well as the members of our public for your outstanding service to this great city. Thank you so much. Now, if I could even more fully embarrass you, if you'd like to come up for a photo, that would be really wonderful. Or if you'd like to say a few words, too.
I just want to say thank you. It's been wonderful here in Oak Park. I love it here. I mean, it's just, the people were so nice, and council, mayor, everybody's been great to me. So it was just time for me to move on with my professional career and just changing a little bit, more IT stuff than cable stuff. So that's about it.
Thank you.
One more thing, Madam Mayor, if I could. Thank you for those kind words. And I just wanted to say that for you and your girlfriend, if you both would like to come back and work for us, you have your spots open anytime. So you both were a tremendous pleasure to have on staff. So
thank you very much.
Photo up.
Yep, and I'm going to present a plaque for you. Council members, if you join me.
Item 10A is a special event application request. A waiver of fees is submitted by the Oak Park Public Schools for an art contest, reception, and award ceremony to be held at City Hall on March 24th, 2016, right out there. And everyone's invited, so mark your calendars for March 24th. Remember the kids' work being displayed last year? If you came to City Hall, it was absolutely beautiful. And they were so talented, and the teachers worked so hard to get something that we can all be very proud of. So we need a motion to approve this special event request. Question?
So moved.
I'm sorry.
We
I'll
got
wait till
a
the
motion,
discussion
and then
minutes.
we got support?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Okay. Discussion, City Manager Tungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to clarify for council members that this application is a condition of our new special event policy that's been in place, I think, almost a year at this point. And the other thing is that in this, in the chart at the back of this application, you'll see under additional, we do think that there's going to be an additional cost in terms of providing refreshments and food, and as well as the setup for this. So I wanted to acknowledge that $100 additional fee.
I think the schools also provide prizes for the kids who enter. And last year, special shirts with one of the kids' artwork on the shirt. It was an amazing event. So we have a motion and a second. Is there a discussion of this application? Councilmember Speech.
Yes, I just want to make sure I'm clear about what the city manager said. So there's a request for this, in this application for the $100 fee to be waived, but are you saying there's another $100?
Yes.
So, city council needs to, if we want to waive the first fee. Since there's not a request to waive the other fee, we would still be charging them the other additional fee?
City Manager Tungate, please explain.
Councilmember Speech, it is correct. They're asking, the event is open to the public, and it is nonprofits via the school district, so they're asking for a waiver of the fee. So that's number one. Number two, there is an additional $100 or so we've estimated in terms of providing refreshments and staffing it. And I'd also like to mention that this was not, last year, this was not part of your normal agenda, primarily because we didn't have the policy in place yet. So that's why you're seeing this, just like you saw in the last meeting, or few meetings ago, where we had the event out in the lobby for the arts group.
Okay, any discussion on this,
Can you,
Councilmember Speech?
yeah, City Clerk, can you repeat the motion that's on the floor?
Madam Mayor, would you?
Please.
The motion on the floor is to request, special event request and waiver of fees, which I'm including the waiver of the $100 plus authorizing the $100 fee as submitted by the Oak Park Public Schools for an art contest, reception, and award ceremony to be held at City Hall on March 24th.
Okay, Madam Mayor, Mayor.
So the city provides a little reception, drinks and cookies.
Yeah.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes, so I just wanted to make sure that I was clear that I was offering the right motion. My motion is that we do waive fees, but I guess I got a little confused when the city manager pointed out there was an additional fee. I want all fees to be waived.
It's a cost. It's not, yeah, it's not a fee
Cost. I
to
want everything to be
the
waived.
school district. It is a cost that we, as the city, are providing refreshments for that $100.
I understand that, but I do understand that. So as long as we're waiving everything, that's the motion I'm putting forth.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have accounting reports. Approval for payment of invoices submitted by Garen Luke Miller PC for legal services in the total amount of $13,654.78. I'd entertain a motion to approve payment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carries. There are no bids or ordinances. Next, we have Francis Murphy, one of our city attorneys, who is going to handle this portion of our program.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. With respect to agenda item 14A, I will read into the record the following analysis and recommendation. Pursuant to first I'm going to read the agenda item. 14A is the committee recommendation regarding approval of the regular council meeting minutes of January 19th, 2016, and special council meeting minutes of January 19th, 2016. And this is our analysis and recommendation. Pursuant to the council rules of procedure, in order to obtain an excused absence from the January 19th, 2016 council meeting, council member Speech was required to notify the city manager in writing prior to the meeting and indicate the reason for her absence. The rules state that excused absences are permitted for specific reasons, including personal illness. Prior to the start of the meeting on January 19th, 2016, council member Speech notified the city manager via email that she was unable to attend due to a personal illness. As the method of communication and the stated reason for the absence satisfy the requirements for an excused absence as set forth in the council rules of procedure, it is a reasonable assumption that the absence should have been noted in the meeting minutes as an excused absence. It is noted that neither the city charter nor council rules require a vote of the city council to approve the absence as excused. The rules simply state that the reason shall be entered in the record of proceedings of the council at the time of each absence. Based upon review of the above authority, the request to designate council member speech's absence from the January 19th, 2016 meeting as an excused absence should be granted. And so our recommendation is to approve the prior minutes indicating that councilmember speech's absence was excused.
Okay, do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Okay, second, please.
Support.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Rich,
Yes.
Councilmember Speech,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Attorney Murphy, you have another item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Agenda item 14B, committee recommendation regarding the request to reschedule the October 3rd, 2016 and October 17th, 2016 city council meetings. With respect to that agenda item, this is our analysis and recommendation. Based upon review of the city charter, it does not appear that the October 3rd and 17th, 2016 dates are legal holidays that required council to reschedule those meetings from the first and third Monday as set forth in the council rules. It is further noted that this council passed a resolution in September 2015 setting forth the 2016 regular meeting calendar dates, and no objections to the schedule were asserted at that time. However, it is clear that this council has the ability to change the two meeting dates as proposed as long as a majority of the members in session approve it. This council is not prohibited from moving its meeting dates simply because past councils chose not to do so. Since we have advance notice that 3 members will definitely miss one of the scheduled meetings, it makes sense to handle the rescheduling now instead of waiting for the meeting date and having to adjourn due to lack of quorum. However, this is ultimately a decision that the council must make by way of a vote on the question at this meeting. And so the motion today would be whether or not to adjourn the dates, whether or not to adjourn one or both dates.
Can we do them separately?
Yes.
So would you restate the motion, please?
So the first motion would be to adjourn the date at which time all 3 council members will be absent. I believe that is
October
October 3rd,
Mhm.
2016.
Right, and do we need to set the date that it's going to be
And
adjourned?
that would move to October 6th, 2016.
Okay, we need a motion to that effect to reschedule that meeting.
So moved.
Okay, we need a second.
Support.
Okay, discussion or questions? Councilmember Speech.
Yes, just want to make sure for the 6th that we confirm there wasn't any, I think there was no conflict of commissions on that date, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of moving that meeting signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Motion carries, thank you. And now, motion about the 17th. Would our city attorney please restate the?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
The next motion is to adjourn the October 17th, 2016 date to a date that can be determined at a later time. That's an administrative task that we can handle at a later time.
Okay, motion to adjourn the meeting of October 17th,
So moved.
and support, please?
Support.
Okay. All those in favor of moving this meeting signify by saying aye.
Discussion.
Yes. Question?
Discussion.
Discussion, sorry. Yes, absolutely. Councilmember Speech.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, is there, is it still going to be the issue of quorum on the date of the 17th?
No, that will not be an issue on that date.
Okay,
But 2 members won't be able to attend that date.
okay.
Question or discussion? Councilmember Rich?
Yeah, October 17th is the holiday of Sukkot.
Orthodox Jews do not work on that day. We don't drive cars. We don't use microphones. We don't use pens. It's physically, spiritually, morally impossible for Solomon Radner and I to be here on those days. It's also impossible for any member of the Orthodox community to come to these chambers that day. It's our holiday. We're going to be celebrating our holiday. The bylaws of the city allow for meetings to be adjourned. It says something about the first and the third Monday of each month, but they can be adjourned if it falls on a holiday or the eve of a holiday. The bylaws make no reference to federal or national holidays. So the common use of the word holiday would apply. I would note that if the council were to adhere to the idea that we don't hold meetings on a federal holiday, then what are we doing here today? Today's President's Day. So, I would think that as a matter of courtesy and decency and respect to fellow council members and to the constituents of the city, that a request to adjourn these meetings made some 7-8 months before would be honored. Thank you.
Further discussion? Councilmember Speech.
Yes. First, I do want to acknowledge, I actually was about to say a little bit of what Councilmember Rich said, but I want to acknowledge and also offer sincere understanding of what you said about the community that will be affected by any decision that's made about holding any meetings for the city during the holiday of Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot, the days of Sukkot. However, one of the things that I want the public to know is that the mayor appointed a committee to these issues, both the absence issue and also the holiday or the calendar issue, because these are things that greatly impact a number of members, not just the council, but the staff here at the city and as well as the community members at large. And the one thing that we are keenly aware of is that we put our calendar out a year, that's beginning of the year. And so we do have the ability as council to change dates. Our ordinances state we have to have 2 meetings a month. And they're the first and third of the month, or we can change them, but it's required that we do 2 meetings a month. In this instance, which rarely happens, if I understand it correctly, this is once in a very, very blue moon that this would ever occur. There's an instance at this time where we have a majority that wouldn't be here. But when this does happen, we have to think about everything. There's the only one meeting where there will be a quorum. There will not be a quorum, which is the third. So the council has opted to change it. But if it would have conflicted with a commission meeting on the 6th or with any other happenings in the city, it would have presented a problem of where to put the meeting, because the other days are still Sukkot days, or Sukkot days. So this is a very delicate situation, and I just want to acknowledge that to all of the community members and recognize that this is not a perfect system. We absolutely welcome input, especially to the Ethnic Advisory Commission, on how members think the calendar should go, or what are we missing, or what we should hear about it. And that's all I want to say about that.
Thank you. Having spoken to the chair of the Planning Commission, each group can make its own rules. The rules that they decided on were if it was a high holiday, Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, that they would reschedule. If it was one of the other holidays, they would just miss the meetings and not reschedule. So that was the decision made by the chair of the Planning Commission for a similar kind of awkward issue. Any other comments? Okay, do you want a roll call vote then?
Roll call. Councilmember Rich.
Yes.
Councilmember Speech.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
No.
Mayor McClellan.
No.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Okay. We respect Our members would love to make everyone happy. No decision makes everyone happy. But if there is an item on the agenda and any council member can't be there for any reason, it's an important item to them, they can ask to have that item removed so that that business isn't covered when they are not able to be there. So that is an option also. We hope for a friendly council and hope to make everyone happy, but it's not usually possible. Moving on, the city manager, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Actually, for the first time in 3.5 years, I don't. And so, but I do want to remind our residents and employees and so forth that we do have our State of the City address on February 25th, and the mayor and I will be delivering speeches, and some of the information that I would have normally shared tonight, I'm saving for that evening. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you. That completes the city manager report.
Thank you. Next, we have call to the audience. If you are interested in speaking, please give us your name and address. Limit your comments to about 3 minutes. Are you on a timer?
Good evening, Cheryl Weiss, 24101 Norwood. I'm here for 2 reasons. One, it is really cold out, but Summerfest is up and going. We had 2 meetings today, an afternoon and evening for the activities. There will be more to do than ever. We're excited. We can use lots of volunteers, so if anyone's interested, please check out the Oak Park Neighbors Facebook or let me know. Second thing is,
Yeah, wonderful. It's a lot of fun to come. It's a lot of fun to volunteer. And it's a great committee that gets a lot done.
Thank you. Second thing is a request. I had a personal situation come up where that I'd really like council to consider a change in policy. As many of you know, I have dogs. My 3 dogs are my babies. And I know Oak Park has a limit of 3 dogs, and there's also a requirement of any short-term dog visiting for 30 days. Someone contacted me the other night with a situation where someone was having to go into rehab for 2 months, has 2 Chihuahuas, wouldn't go if the dogs had nowhere to go. I couldn't take them. I also foster dogs. If you take in a pregnant dog, they have to be with you for 2 months until they can be adopted. Can we look into a 90-day instead of 30 days? 90 days. Thank you.
Thank you. We will look into that. And thank you for helping the critters. Appreciate that. So changing the 30-day to a 90-day period would help you? Would City Attorney make a note of that, please?
Madam Mayor?
Thank you. Councilmember Speech.
Yes, also, I wasn't sure if the resident knew anything, but I would also like to know from the city attorney whether any type of licensing for foster homes for animals in the city, if we have any ordinance related to that, or maybe put something together regarding that. Because I know there are homes that are foster licensed.
I'm not sure about whether or not there's anything in the ordinance. It is something that we can discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll look into what ordinance we have and look into things that other cities have done and recommendations from animal groups, and hopefully let someone who wants to do a good deed do it. Anyone else from the audience?
Hi, my name is Gloria Key, and I reside at 13333 West 9 Mile.
What is your last name?
Key, K-E-Y.
K-Y.
The reason that I'm here, I'm representing West 9 Mile Condominium Association. I am the secretary. I would like to make it known that Inspector Nathan Isadoric is prejudiced, should I say, and biased because he's working for Affordable Labs. He came out to the building today. He went to a couple of apartments today. We have requested and we've made it known we would like another inspector other than him. He's making unreasonable demands. We have done so much over there in that section, trying to improve that place. He's asking that the parking lot be redone. We know that that needs to be done, but give us a break. There are 5 units, 6 units that we have that are, all of the apartments are filled. All of the apartments are filled. We have 5 units that are occupied. Nobody, the one owner does not pay any association dues, none whatsoever. But yet and still, she has Nate in her back pocket. He comes, we had inspectors come out. I think the guy name was Dan. Nate runs over and he says, oh, I saw this address on the board, so I thought I would come over. But today, he came over today, making his rounds today. He even stopped and left his card with a few people. He gave one card to a person and told them, but he told that person, I work for Affordable Labs. I agree, he made that statement today to this person. So my problem is, does he work for the city of Oak Park as an inspector, or is he working for Rhonda Hendren, who owns 5 units over there, 6 of them really, which only legally 1 is hers. The others have been stolen, forged signatures and everything. We have an attorney and stuff that's working with us, but he skips her units. He skips those units. They don't mean anything. But the people that's paying the money, that's paying the water bill, the lights, the common lights, the hot water, the ones that's doing that, he's on our neck. And we have requested that anybody would come over there and be the inspector and be fair to us as a community, not Nate. When I saw him today, I spoke to him and I told him, I said, you're working for Affordable Labs. You're not working for the community over here. He's working for this one lady and her friend, Morchelle Danford, and
We will, we're going to look into this.
It's 3 in 1.
Right.
It's 3 in 1.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for representing your group. Thank you for being active. And our city manager will respond.
Well, first of all, thank you for your comments, Ms. Key. And I noticed you were talking to Director Barrett back here. He is the director of the department where Nate works. He's a city employee. As far as the improprieties that you mentioned, we'll be doing some investigating into those matters. And if Director Barrett determines that we need to assign another inspector, we will do so.
We already had another inspector. It was the guy,
Can I ask if you would speak after the meeting? Come on up after the meeting and continue this, and we'll get more information from you. Thank you for coming in. Anyone else? Okay. Now it's council comments. People are still asking, why are those trees cut down on Church Street? I don't know, if you live south of 10, you probably haven't even seen it. If you happen to live north of 10, there was a whole grove of trees and all of a sudden they were gone and everybody feels a loss. The state of Michigan, Michigan Department of Transportation, is taking the bridge over the expressway, over 696, down because it was the first one built over an expressway with a park on top of it. And because it was the first, there were some things that they improved later on. So this one has to be fixed. They have to take the trees down, the dirt down, the playground, the lights, everything down to the metal struts on the bottom, fix it and rebuild it at huge cost to the state of Michigan. So if they didn't have to do it, I'm betting they wouldn't be doing it. The good news for the city of Oak Park, this is gonna start in April. It'll be difficult you won't be able to get through Church Street north of 10 to Balfour. You have to take a detour around from November to April to November. The good news is that when they're finally done and they put the dirt back and the trees back and the paths back and the lights, they're gonna put LED lights, better lights. It'll be a better playground. because the wood chips absorb a lot of water and bring it down to the expressway, they're going to give us an upscale, fancy, rubberized playground cover that if the child falls down, it's much nicer than wood chips. It's much more expensive, so if they could do it cheaper, they would love to, but we are getting a better playground and a better playground surface for our trouble. And just avoid that area if you can. As the city manager mentioned, we have the State of the City address, February 25th. Mark your calendar at 6 o'clock. There is a reception in our beautiful hallway. And then at 7 o'clock, we've got great news to share with you about the City of Oak Park. You can come into the clerk's office and apply for an absentee ballot. Our primaries are March 8th, and it is a crazy election season. We want everybody to get their voice heard. If an absentee ballot is more convenient for you, come on and get one. I had the great honor and pleasure today of swearing in a new public safety officer. Kyle McFarland came with his wife, his cute toddler, and a 2-week-old baby to get sworn in. And he is a gem that we got from Wayne County, who has heard wonderful things about Oak Park, has always wanted to come here. And a friend of his was hired last summer and has been raving about what a great department it is. And so we are lucky that the word is out, and we're getting such wonderful officers for our department. Thank you, and stay warm. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Please dress accordingly. The weather is changing. It's 3 or 4 degrees over the weekend, and it's supposed to be 50 degrees by Friday. So please be careful and dress accordingly in this great state of Michigan.
Thank you. Let's see, Councilmember Radner.
Thank you all for coming out. Have a wonderful evening.
Councilmember Speech.
Yes, thank you all for coming out. There is, someone already mentioned the weather, need to be safe, but also it's getting dark. It has been getting dark sooner, so remember those porch lights and middle of the yard lights if you have them, just for safety, be a good neighbor. I also want to acknowledge Officer Benson, and I can't remember the other officer, but the public safety officer that helped me while I was having some health problems a couple of weeks ago. Just a pillar of excellence and caring, and of course I was a horrible patient, but they were very excellent, and I want to acknowledge them for all they do. I am so excited to hear that we have another member of the public safety team to say that to make Oak Park safe and healthy, and just appreciate them. So don't forget our guys and gals in blue. Thank you.
Councilmember Rich.
Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.
There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thanks for coming.